The Liberation Day has arrived, and with it comes the bloodbath. The stock market is having its worst day since the pandemic. S&P ends the week down 9% and its largest weekly drop since March 2020, erasing $4 trillion of market cap. But one thing is drawing attention. Bitcoin is holding up very well, falling only 2% this week. And the question is the crypto market in trouble? Or is it decoupling from the stock market? My name is Kyle and I'm a Coinex ambassador. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. On April 2nd, President Trump hit nearly every country with tariffs, some of the most severe in American history. Immediately, markets began to crash. Regarding the tariffs, we were warned that they would be reciprocal. But the calculation to arrive at such a harsh tariffs as 34 against China or 46 against Vietnam was just the imbalance in the trade balance with countries. Let's understand. Here we have US trade deficit by country. US imports from China $400 billion, but US exports to China just $100 billion. There is a trade deficit over here. Let's do the math. If we pick the trade deficit divided by US imports from China, what we have? 67. And US said that China charges 67% of tariffs. But no, what we have here is simply the trade deficit. So this is not a reciprocal tariff. It is an attempt to eliminate the trade deficit. These tariffs are worse than the worst case scenario. Tariffs could trigger a recession. Global recession odds rise to 6%, according to JP Morgan. And Scott Bessent said, everybody sit back, take a deep breath, don't retaliate. Because if you retaliate, that's how we get escalation. Even if this doesn't make sense, this is the warning. So it's understandable that the market is afraid. The tariffs are heavy, and even trying to negotiate is difficult because we are not talking about tariffs here. We are talking about trade deficit. But Trump remains confident. Every country called us to make deals, of course. Cambodia took a tariffs, Vietnam too. But all the US-Canada relationship is over, warns Canadian Prime Minister. And he said, it's clear the US is no longer a reliable partner. Western Europeans support retaliatory tariffs against the USA. And we had strong retaliation from China. China announces extra 34% tariffs on US, causing all the markets to plummet even further. Just to remind you, we know Trump's goal is cut rates. All the chaos caused by the uncertainty of the tariffs could lead to a slowdown in the economy. And that could force the Fed to cut interest rates. And Friday, Powell said, it's too soon to determine the appropriate policy path. So, the fight isn't over yet. And neither is the market's fear. But before we look at the Bitcoin chart, I invite you to Coinex. It's a very simple and easy platform. Has the largest number of cryptos, values your privacy, and does not require KYC. Extreme fear returned to the market. Mag 7 are down 35% from their high. And tariffs was heavy in S&P, just falling down. We can see here EMA 200 become a resistance in price, and EMA 50 in the next few days will cross EMA 200. So the death cross are coming. But I expect in the next few days a recovery. Not a huge recovery, just a bounce. We can see here in our side we have exhaustion, and this recovery can lead the price in the region over here. This is a resistance. Even so, we have Fibonacci levels. These Fibonacci levels become a resistance in price. So next 2 days I expect a bounce, but not a recovery, a full recovery. And let's see where we expect the next supports in price. Here we have excellent support in price, and the price could come to this region over here. But when you go to weekly, we can see the biggest support, this area over here, and this area marks us the 200 EMA in weekly chart. So here's the place that I expect a real support from S&P. So the pain is not over yet, but we may be close to it. And there are no tariffs on Bitcoin. While S&P collapses, Bitcoin is holding very well. And many analysts on the market are calling for the decoupling of Bitcoin from the risk assets. Is that true? Let's see. Here we can see the Pearson correlation between Bitcoin, Nasdaq, and S&P. When this number is near 1, it means that when the asset is up, another one is up too. When this is near from the bottom, means that when one asset is up, another is down. So we can see here that they are correlated. So in my opinion, Bitcoin is still correlated to the market. It's not decoupling from the stock market. And we can see here, Bitcoin may be simply be lagging from the stock market. And the next path can be a fall of Bitcoin too. Bitcoin remains below important resistance areas such as EMA 200 and EMA 50, which could also lead to a death cross in the coming days. And Bitcoin fails to break once again this trend line over here. And even if it did, Bitcoin needs to overcome this area over here, this resistance of 90K to become bullish again. However, RSI broke its trend line over here and retest as a support. And this could be the fuel for the next days. Bitcoin try to break this resistance over the price here. But the most likely outcome is still follow the stock market. In my opinion, Bitcoin is just lagging the stock market. And the biggest support, in my opinion, is Bitcoin coming back into this region of 70K area. Looking the price of Bitcoin, this is a huge resistance in price. So now it can be a huge support too. And if you see the chart of Bitcoin, look at this pattern. The Bitcoin looks like it's doing a falling wedge, a bull pattern. So as I said in S&P that we are close to the bottom, in Bitcoin, maybe we close too. And that's it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. So see you in the next video.